Hey, it's good to see you, my friend. I'm meteorologist Dave Schwartz for Hudson Valley Weather 101, brought to you by Network Weather and some of the weather geeks, just like me, who are in charge of bringing this all together. And I know many of you are weather geeks, too. We're glad to have you along, including Mike T. of New Windsor and Sheila from Highland. Well, today's weather word is spring. We're officially into spring, the season of spring. Spring, by the way, an old English word that came into our language over 1,000 years ago. It's got many meanings, but for this purpose, we're talking about the kind of weather that, well, you might just go out for a nice ride with the top down, as these folks did in the backyard somewhere. I think this is from the psychiatric hospital over there in Putnam County. Some of the patients being allowed outside. Very nice. Spring, you know, we like to think that every day is going to be nice and mild and flowery and sunshiny, but that's not the case. Spring is a transition season from winter to summer, and you can get summertime weather in April, you can get wintertime weather in April. That's what spring is all about. Very volatile. That's why it's the stormiest time of year, that kind of thing. Speaking of spring, one thing we look to determine what kind of a spring it's going to be is what the ice coverage is in the Arctic. We're actually looking at a map looking down on the North Pole. Here's the United States and Canada down here. This is the extent of sea ice right now. It happens to be at a fairly low level in terms of coverage. So the reason we may have an elongated cool season this spring is because of that, kind of indirectly. I'll get into that more another time. Something else to consider is what kind of snow cover we have on the ground here in the United States and Canada. If the wind is blowing across snow, that air is going to stay cold. If the snow recedes or melts, then it gets milder. That's what's happening. This was March 22nd snow cover. This is March 29th snow cover. You can see the warm air is moving north. It has been getting warmer in St. Louis, Cincinnati, Chicago. No snow on the ground now. Boston, all the snow you got this winter, it is gone. Here's a little close-up look at it here with the Hudson Valley in mind in particular. The blue indicates where there was heavier snow. This is March 23rd. Heavier snow in the Adirondacks, in the Tug Hill Plateau, north of Syracuse, and also here in the Presidential Range, the greens, the whites, and all the way down into, say, around Mount Greylock in western Massachusetts. Here is the Hudson Valley, this stripe of light blue. Well, by March 29th, all the snow is gone. Just go outside right now. Anywhere here from New York City up to Peekskill, to Newburgh, to Poughkeepsie and Albany, the snow is gone. There's still some skiing going on here in the Catskills and plenty up here in upstate New York. So that's a look at some of the ice and snow that's currently in place. Here's the look at the next chance of snow, but it's going to be the northern Great Lakes. This is Sunday and Monday, and then into upstate New York, and I'm talking about the Adirondacks and then up to the Presidential Range in Mount Washington up here in northern New England. We're going to have a cold front swing through, and after this nice milder weather that we've had for Easter Sunday, it'll be gorgeous in Newburgh and Orange County, Dutchess County, Putnam County. Gorgeous weather. Then the cold front blows through here, and by Monday morning it will be cooler after overnight rains. Talk about cooler, downright colder here. This is where the cold air is really going to hit with this batch. Northern Plains, Great Lakes states, and further south, and then move eastward. But it's not going to be the cold of the age, and we're not expecting any snow in the Hudson Valley at all. Just temperatures from 60 on Easter Sunday to low 40s on, or low to mid 40s Monday and Tuesday. So cooler, but certainly not too cold, and that cold air is not going to stay around because once the sun comes out, it's at such a high angle this time of year, and since there's no snow on the ground to reflect that heat back out into space, it will warm up here. So just some short, colder spells, that's the story. If you're really looking to get out where it's warm, head to the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico. High temperatures now up around 30 in the Virgin Islands. That's 86 Fahrenheit. There's a cold front stretching down through Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. A slight chance of showers there due to that front, and into the western Gulf and the Caribbean. Winds 10 to 15 knots out of the east, Further east, if you're doing some sailing, 25 to 30 knots out around Anegada in the British Virgin Islands. Here's a look at high pressure that is moving off the east coast, pumping that milder air up here into New York State. And also some slightly cooler but very breezy conditions right here in the Northeast Caribbean. So we've gone from the North Pole to the Caribbean in what, 4 minutes right here on Hudson Valley Weather 101. That's not bad coverage, don't you think? Would it be nice to just go to the Caribbean this time of year? Well, what are you going to do? Hey, thanks for tuning in, my friend, to Hudson Valley Weather 101, brought to you by Network Weather. And once again, a couple of shout-outs. Mac and Pam in Austerlitz and Alex in Lowe's. Alex, remember, no more texting from work. We'll see you next time right here.